What's up, Panther fans? The game just ended, Atlanta, Carolina. And, what more can I really say than what's been said after every game this season, pretty much. Um, just poor performance all around, pretty much. Let's go ahead and start with, go ahead and stating the positives from this game, because there are a couple. The running game got going pretty well against a team that's been pretty stout against the run this season in Atlanta. Jonathan Stewart had a nice game, 133 yards rushing. Goodson, good game as a number 2 guy, had 70 yards himself. Showed some nice blocking, nice running when they were able to. This team just really seems like they're either boom or bust on offense, and a team that when they have momentum, when they have confidence, they're a very young team. So when they have that confidence, then they're really kind of hitting pretty well, at least in the running game. And I think that bodes well for the future, for the team. This young talent, these guys that are going to be around moving forward. Hopefully they're able to maintain that. And the other thing that I liked from today's game was the pass rush. Thought we did a pretty good job of getting pressure. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad by any means. Had 3 sacks on the day. Everett Brown thought had a good game. So did Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson's shaping up to be a pretty nice defensive end. He's not. He doesn't make the Julius Peppers type plays yet, but he's not exactly unserviceable by any means. But he will be a free agent after this season, and he's a guy that we're going to have to look to re-sign because he's not under contract past this year. So, with that, let's go ahead and I guess talk about all the negatives. Another game where we're getting blown out. And Atlanta's a good team, and props to Atlanta because they've got the best record in the NFL right now, and they're looking like they got a good shot to make a run if they don't run into to somebody, which it's likely to happen in the playoffs, but we will see. Just don't know much of what to say. O-line cannot pass protect to save their life, it seems like. Clausen, he's struggling with some decision making, but he doesn't have time to throw most of the time. So, I don't know what you can really say about that. He had some passes that I'm sure he wishes he could have back, and he didn't throw the ball out of bounds as much this week. I mean, typically, especially last week in Seattle, he would just run to the sideline and chuck the ball out of bounds. But he seemed like he wanted to challenge a bit more downfield this week, but he ended up getting sacked several times. I'll check and see exactly how many times. It was 5 times, so yeah. Can't have your quarterback taking 5 sacks in a game. That's just unacceptable. Part of it's the O-line. Part of it is not knowing when to get rid of the ball and being able to escape the pressure. Just got to improve. Got to keep improving. And it seems like most passes that are complete are to the running backs, and it's just that way over and over and over and over again, which makes for a really, really boring offense. So we're still on pace for the number 1 pick in next year's draft, it looks like. Really, next week against Atlanta or Arizona at home is really the only other shot I see for us getting a win this season. Don't think we have any shot at Pittsburgh. That's just going to be a massacre. And the following week in Atlanta, it's kind of a toss-up. If Atlanta's resting their starters for the playoffs, then we have a chance. But they're in pretty tight competition right now for the number 1 seed, home field advantage. So if that's still on the line in the final week, you can bet they're going to be playing hard for that number 1 seed. So if that's the case, then that game's pretty much shot too. But I'll be at the Arizona game next week. Hopefully we can have a little bit better showing I think we can. Arizona's going to be a winnable game, but you know, just have to weigh with. I'm not sure if it's going to be in our best interests for the future of the team. And some may argue, and I'm never one for throwing a game by any means, but if we do win that game, great, it's a win, and it'd be nice to see a win in person again. But that if we lose the number one pick, that could end up being huge. With Andrew Luck still 50-50 coming out, he's a guy that, from what I've seen, he has one of the quickest releases of any prospect in recent history. He's already being touted as one of the best quarterback prospects in over a decade, since Peyton Manning at least. And he could possibly turn the franchise around completely at the quarterback position. To be a guy that's going to be there for more than 10 years, 15 years down the road. But then we got Jimmy Clausen, the guy we just picked, and I think has a lot of potential. And once he gets over the rookie jitters and gets comfortable in the NFL, I think can be a nice starter. And he has that opportunity. But if we decide to go with Clausen and not pick a guy like Andrew Luck, then I think that number one pick is going to be so valuable for teams like Buffalo, other quarterback needy teams that are going to be in the top 10 to 15 picks, who would be able to just basically give us all kinds of picks and or players for that number one pick. It could be very, very valuable with a guy like Luck sitting there, again, assuming that he comes out, and it's 50-50 that he'll come out, and I think I wouldn't be surprised at all if he decided to stay in at Stanford. It all really depends on the CBA. If the CBA is looking like it's not going to happen and there's going to be a lockout, I don't see any reason why he would come out then, really, because he'd have to just sit and not play football for a season. But let's hope all that gets done, because a year without football would just be torture. And I couldn't bring you all these vids every week, so there'd be nothing to talk about. But yeah, that's really all I got to say about today's game. It's really just the same old thing we've been seeing week after week after week. Really not much to do. Got to mention they put Armani Edwards in for one play. One play. Wow. Yeah. I mean, what's the point? I mean, give the kid an honest chance, or don't. I mean, really getting frustrated with that. But it was an obvious design screen pass. It was pass all the way, and not on a down and distance that you would normally do something like that. I think they could have had a better play call for that situation. But just ready for this regime to be on its way out the door, so we can be looking for a new coach. And I know John Fox and his staff is in a lame duck year, and it's, they'd like for him just to play out his contract and walk out the door, so there's no complications with, a settlement for the last few games or anything like that. But really, when you look at it, a lot of the teams that have had success finding their coaches early and having a chance to kind of get started on their coaching search right away, they may have the upper hand on a team like us, and having these prospects out there waiting and already kind of looking at them where we're not. So we may get passed over by an up-and-coming coach and have to settle for somebody that we'd rather not have, due to the fact that we let Fox hang around for a few extra games that mean nothing. So I think they should go ahead and then just cut the ties if they're going to. Now's the time. Just get it over with and get started looking for the future, because that's what we're doing. But leave your thoughts on the game in the comments. Be sure to comment, subscribe if you hadn't already. I should try to get a preview vid out for the Arizona game. I know I didn't get one out for this game, and I apologize for that. I went up to App State for the quarterfinals playoff game yesterday against Villanova, which if you saw it on ESPN yesterday, wasn't very good. That's the first loss I've ever attended at App State, a home game. So that says a lot about App State and its football program and everything. But it was a tough game to watch us lose, because we were looking strong and looked like we're ready to make a run to the national title again. But what's done is done, and I'm ready to finish up school this week. Finals. Got a couple this week to finish up and be headed home for Christmas, which I'm really looking forward to. So hope you all have a good week. I'll talk to you later this week with a preview for Arizona, and I should be able to give you some observations from the game and a review of that game after sometime next week. But hope you all have a good one. Talk to you later. Be sure to comment. Come check out the Facebook group if you want to talk and rant about Carolina, which a lot of people are liking to do right now. So, I'll holler at you later. Go Panthers.